Alright, let's continue on and find out how this train wreck ends. Okay. So, walking into the house, we find Kaga and Subaru already there. They both look sullen and depressed. Oh, really? Did he witness everything? If so, I think it's time to come clean. I hope you two had a nice long walk. Yeah. Did you go to the beach? Nah, I passed. It's good that Suzuki had already let go of my hand and is now standing off to the side, as if nothing happened between us. Still, to do what I did when I'm officially dating someone else, I feel like a traitor, an enemy to the public. I'm a horrible wench, aren't I? Yes, you are, Teru. You are a horrible wench. My chest aches from the knowledge that I willfully betrayed Subaru, although I'm sure Kaga was happy to have some alone time with him. Approaching me, she places her hands on my shoulders and shakes me a little. I had been searching for this boob all over the place, though through bush and swamp. I almost got lost, scratched my hands, and nearly broke my leg. I ended up falling into a hole which is where he found me. God, okay, having a drink before we're starting this probably isn't a good idea. Subaru tries holding back his laughter, but fails miserably. One after another, giggles slip through his hand-covered mouth until they finally merge into a single stream of laughter. Regaining a bit of his composure, he wipes a few tears from his eyes. Have you ever seen Kaga covered in dirt and leaves and swearing like a sailor? He breaks into laughter again, and Kaga turns away and broods. Really? Did you take a picture? Subaru nods. Let me see. Suzuki dashes towards Subaru, but Kaga deftly sticks her foot out and trips him. Screaming, Senpai tumbles to the floor. You witch! You could have killed me! And you would have deserved it. Kaga is certainly in rare form today. By the way, Teru, why are you wearing a towel? Remembering my earlier kiss, I nervously blush. I was cold, and you forbade me from wearing anything other than a swimsuit. Look, I have a video. Catching Subaru's not very quiet whisper, Kaga shifts her attention to the boys. Hey, I told you to delete that. Kaga barrels towards the guys in an attempt to prevent them from taking pleasure over her misfortune any more than they already have. Whew, that was a close one. Thankfully, Kaga is distracted by that video. Otherwise, I'm sure she'd have already realized that I busted out of her swimsuit. God, can I stop stumbling? Or worse, rip the towel right off of me, showcasing my naked chest to the entire world. Although, how do I explain why I'm now heading upstairs? Tomorrow we spend the day together, all of us. And if one of you runs off, I'll find you and personally strangle you. It's useless arguing with Kaga when she gets like this, so everyone just silently nods. Yeah, Kaga is a little terrifying. Still, the emotions I experienced today will stay with me for a long time. She's actually scarier when you're romancing Subaru. Like, a lot scarier. Once things finally settle down, everyone goes about their business. And later in the evening, we all retire to the living room to hang out together. We eat dinner, then watch a new video from the bearded streamer who wears glasses and loves screaming in terror while playing horror games. I'm not sure who that is because I don't watch any other streamers. At about midnight, Kaga turns off the lights and ducks under her cover. Okay, Teru, are you asleep? Did you fall asleep? I did not want to do that, okay? Are you sleeping? I'm roused from my slumber by whispers. I don't know how I messed this up. I thought I got all the selections that actually it was for his route. Half asleep, I don't immediately recognize that it's Senpai, and so I squeeze my eyes tightly shut as I continue to peer into the void. Slipping under the blankets with me, Suzuki places his hand on my shoulder. I was thinking, what do you want for breakfast? What? You're asking me this now, in the middle of the night? Still half asleep, my words come out long and stretched, like a recording that's playing back in slow motion. Well, I was lying there, and I couldn't sleep without knowing. I asked Kaga. I asked Subaru, but I didn't ask you. Did an overwhelming desire to cook breakfast really wake you up? A desire so strong that you had to climb over Kaga to sneak under my blanket? Well, as the master of the house, I need to be a good host. I already made you clean today. I shouldn't ask you to cook as well. Fine, I want scrambled eggs and toast. Now, good night. And I shut my eyes. Good night. And the fact that it's the middle of the night and Senpai is laying in bed next to me doesn't even register in my mind. Flopping down on my pillow, he scoots closer to me. Then his hand slides to my chest and he squeezes, which instantly wakes me up. Just seeing them wasn't enough, was it? He has to touch them too. I try to scream and whisper into his ear. Well, at least whisper as loud as I can without actually waking anyone up. I'm not one of your friends with benefits. He needs to understand that, and if I have to, I'll scream it 100 more times just to get it through his thick skull. He quickly removes his hand. I didn't realize you were awake. Like, that makes it any better, Suzuki. Like, that makes it any better. Hi, Metanui. Do you know how awkward it is lying between you two? I'm sleeping between them too, you know. But don't you feel the cold emanating from them? And yet it's so warm next to you. He buries his face in my neck, then squeezes me tightly in his arms. I can't let him do any more than he already has today. What exactly do you think you're doing? Didn't you tell me that I shouldn't allow you to get close to me like this? Yes. Oh god, Jin, close your eyes. Don't listen to this. And was I wrong? Teru, you are so attractive. I can't help myself. Besides, you've already shown me your chest. I can no longer resist its call. It was an accident. Maybe, or maybe it was a sign from above. You sound like my father. We are alike in some ways. It would be funny to introduce those two to each other. The comedic scene plays out in my head. The meeting would be classic. Hey, Dad, meet my lover. What a wonderful father you are. You and I are so alike. Suzuki takes my father's hands into his own and makes googly eyes at him. But his spell doesn't work, and he, whoosh, get away from my daughter, you pervert, and Suzuki flies far, far away. Ah, the drama of having a devoted father. Teru, did you fall back to sleep? No, I was just thinking about what would happen if I introduced you to my father. Ah, I don't need to know the details. Damn, we only just kissed and I'm already thinking about introducing him to my dad. What a mess this is. By the way, Teru, do you mind if I sleep with you? I promise not to touch you, at least not anywhere you would object. Fine. Who can refuse such an opportunity? Hopefully we just lie next to each other under the blanket. Hopefully. Having received my consent, Suzuki settles in beside me. Teru, have you ever slept with Subaru like this? Why these questions again? What if I told you yes? What if I told you that we did more than just sleep? He grows quiet and thoughtful, and in the silence I notice how his heart beats heavily beneath his chest. He's always making me envious of the other girls he talks to. Well, it's my turn to make him jealous. Have you made love to Subaru? So what if I did? Then I won't hold back. Hold back? Since you are no longer an innocent lamb, it makes no sense for me to protect you like one, to treat you as a gentleman does. I no longer need to wait until you're ready, because you already are. God. I know you enjoy the games we've been playing with each other. You enjoy the fact that you do these things with me even though you belong to Subaru, that you have both of us wrapped around your little finger. He slides his hand to my stomach and begins lifting up my shirt. No! I almost screamed the words. I've tried to speak as quietly as possible up to this point. I don't want to wake the others. That's enough already. I didn't sleep with Subaru. We've never even touched each other. We haven't even kissed. I cover my face in shame. He knows how I feel about him, and yet he continues to tease me. Turning away from Suzuki, I bury my head in my pillow. I'm sorry. He gently embraces me from behind. I don't know why I keep pushing you. I think maybe I'm jealous. Creeping through my hair, Suzuki places his lips against my neck. I want to be with you. Even though I can barely hear his words, the meaning behind them deeply stirs my heart. And I lay here unable to sleep until morning. I managed to briefly doze off around dawn, and when I opened my eyes again, Suzuki is back in his bed sleeping. Was it all a dream? Laying back down, I wait for everyone else to wake up. Because they are sleeping with the other characters, like, right there. They're not going to do it right there. The next day comes, and I'm sure it will be filled with funny happenings. Unlike yesterday, everyone has a common goal: eat breakfast, go for a swim, and set off fireworks in the evening. The rest of our holiday promises to be fun, and the night before we head back to university will be even more fun when we cram our homework together. It's it's not your birthday. Maybe it's your unbirthday, Jin. All right. So I don't know how that happened. I'm pretty sure that I did the right route. I hope this doesn't mess up and put me on the threesome route. I hope it doesn't. Although Gabby would be quite happy with that. The rest of our vacation went very quickly. Kaga wouldn't let anyone out of her sight. And so the four of us spent the entire second day together. We grilled food, set off fireworks, and told horror stories by the fireplace while drinking hot cocoa with marshmallows. It was really cozy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to figure out what's going on with our little quartet, and talking to everyone individually would have been far too suspicious. Besides, I wanted to continue to enjoy the atmosphere of companionship that was in the air, and to only have memories of the pleasant moments during our trip. Once we were back at school, we spent the entire day before class working on our homework. Like madmen. Each of us passionately toiled away on our assignments, only taking short breaks here and there to consult each other for advice. I sketched out a story about a crocodile and a little brown mammal. My teacher chose it for my assignment because he thought it was really touching. A tale of friendship and kindness all wrapped up in one little book. I had to draw out 30 different sketches for it, and I thought I was going to die. But I did it. Although Subaru helped out with a few of them. He had time since it didn't take him long to finish the sketches he started while we were at the beach. Clearly, he had a hunch that he would need to help us out, so he started his homework early. Kaga diligently wrote a paper on the organization of art gallery events. We ended up listening to her oral presentation on it, applauding her exceptional delivery. Suzuki drew this incredible picture made of circles and triangles using Whatman paper, and then asked us to help paint it, since he was running out of time. He's a founder? Really? Oh, is that why there's a little first before? He is! Wow. I have my first founder. I feel special. Ah, teamwork. When morning came, we all trudged to class like zombies. The entire week after our holiday, we could barely get our heads back into our studies. I wanted to go back to the beach, to the guest house, to extend those moments, repeat them over again. I wish I could travel back in time. I would relive my most treasured moments over and over again. Reminiscing, I run my fingertips over my lips. Although it happened weeks ago, I can still feel the heat of his kiss. Oh, how I want to experience it again. The thought that Suzuki loves me brings me so much joy. But as the end of the year approaches, I find myself spending less and less time with my beloved. Preparation for my final exams takes up most of my time. I feel like screaming and tearing my hair out, but I endure it. Still, I haven't had the chance to really think things through, nor have I spoken to the others about my feelings. Of course, I see Subaru in class, but exam preparation keeps him busy. For some reason, he refuses to talk about anything other than our studies. But there's so much I want to ask him. I've tried getting all of us together for lunch or a weekend outing, but everyone is always too busy. And I don't want to talk to everyone separately. It doesn't make sense to. I'll just end up having to repeat myself. Explaining myself once is already going to be hard enough, but thrice? I need to get it over with in one sitting. I can no longer keep silent about what happened at the beach. I need to get everyone together so I can reveal my feelings once and for all. Today, I just hope everything doesn't burn to ash as it did on the day I confessed. I wander the hallways looking for my friends. They aren't online and are probably too busy to talk to me. 3 weeks have passed since the end of our vacation, and I've seen no one. No one, damn it! We've said not a single word about kisses, love, or any other of that rubbish. It's as if nothing happened at all. Alright, so this is where... I think that's what she's going to try and do now. Somehow, what little confidence I have strives to escape me, but I clench my hands into fists, determined to persevere in my quest. Alright, so this is where I have to run around and try and find them. And this is... and this is all, like, RNG. So, this may take a while. Maybe Suzuki is in the student council room. Kaga! Whew. I grabbed my friend's hand as I struggled to catch my breath. Found you! Teru, why are you so out of breath? I need you to come to the roof for lunch today. Will you be there? She smiles. Of course. I have some free time today. I don't have as much as I'd like, but I think I can fit it in. Can you believe my last report wasn't good enough, so my teacher is forcing me to rewrite it? Ah, that sucks. I'm sorry, Kaga. I'll see you at lunch. Subaru and Suzuki will be there too. We turn around and speed off. Okay, I think this is good. I think this should squarely get me on Suzuki's ending. Why am I always having to look for you? Oh, look who we have here. Hey. You know, the last time we met, you were following Suzuki around like a lost puppy. Milena barrels straight towards me and pushes me up against the wall. Pinning me with one arm, she digs around in her purse with the other, clearly looking for something. Hey, what is this? What if she pulls out a knife? I don't want to have to beat up the council president, not even in self-defense. I'll get expelled for that. I want to talk. Talk? You call this talking? Civil discourse usually includes much less brute force. What are you up to, Milena? Seriously, I want to talk to you. Damn it. Where is that blasted phone? She finally fishes a huge smartphone out of her handbag. So, that's who buys those things. So, searching through the phone a bit, she then taps the screen. Thankfully, she doesn't seem to be enraged enough to splash acid in my face or disfigure me with a knife like a jealous lover. Milena turns the phone towards me. Look. On the screen is a selfie of her and Senpai. See it? They're laying in bed together, half naked and covered with a blanket. I can't say I'm shocked. There's been rumor that he was sleeping with her. Although I know him well enough to understand that he doesn't take these hookups very seriously. Besides, he's not a monk. It's not like he's expected to spend his youth cloistered away from women. It would have been worse if he had introduced me to each of his girls individually, explaining how much he loved them. Seeing my indifference, Milena exhales in disappointment. That is what we had long before you came along. Scroll down. If you're going to show me all of your pictures with him, don't bother. I'm not into porn. So no thanks. Scroll! She claps her hand hard on the wall next to my ear. I said I'm not interested. Although I am curious. I reach out to the screen and slide my finger left, revealing the next photo. And I slide again and again, the frames changing one by one. Milena keeps an entire chronicle of Suzuki's frivolous pursuits right there on her phone. Sitting in a cafe, at parties, at the university, sometimes with her, but oftentimes without. Most of the pictures have him with various other women. I know some of the girls are students. I've seen them around the university, but how many photos are there? It's as if each of them considered it an honor to take a photo with Suzuki, as if they were proud to be another checkmark on his list. The more photos I scroll through, the more delicious Milena's facial expression becomes. In a few of them, Suzuki embraces a dark-haired girl with a radiant smile on her face. She's not like the others. Is that Jew? Yes. Do these photos not shock you? I won't lie, it hurts to see actual proof of what I've long suspected. Oh, but again, I expected this. I'm honestly surprised at how well I'm taking things. Yes, we are, Gabby, we are. Truthfully, I'm more disappointed than surprised. Here's another one. She forces me to look at a photo of her and Suzuki smiling happily together next to a pool. She's pressed up against him, and he seems satisfied. There's also a lot of alcohol nearby, which only angers me. Don't you understand? He's mine. Can't you see how much we have in common? Besides, I'm the one who pulled him out of his depression after Ju left. He belongs to me. The pieces of the puzzle, Suzuki's words and behavior, they all begin to take form inside my head. And I come to the sobering realization that I envy his former girlfriend, and even Milena. Ultimately, Ju was his one true love, and Milena the woman who supported him through her loss. And all of this happened while I was too preoccupied with worrying about myself. I don't know about that, but I think I can thank you. You were there for Suzuki when he was going through a hard time. You supported him, but you did that of your own free will. And he's better now. Milena opens her mouth as if to say something, but hesitates for a moment. You have to stop pursuing him. You're hindering his development as an artist, interfering with his ability to form a career. Oh, how so? This is not, okay. Well, instead of volunteering to help with student events and attending social gatherings, he rushes through everything just so he can spend time with you. He slips out of council meetings early, assuming he hasn't found an excuse to skip them entirely, and stuffs his head full of all sorts of nonsense. This is making me even angrier. None of what she says makes any sense. Milena blames me for the fact that Suzuki is now paying less attention to her. Yes, I'm sometimes jealous of his relationship with her, but I've never demanded that he spend time with me instead of her, not once. This is absurd. Don't you think you should be talking to him about this instead of me? Ha! You don't think I've tried? He refuses to listen to me. He doesn't need to. Anyway, what do you expect me to do about any of this? You're friends with him. At least the kind of friend he trusts enough to confide his secrets to. I stare at the floor. So she doesn't view me as a rival. Well, I can't say she's wrong. But while on vacation, his attitude towards me was definitely more than friendly. And even before that, I could tell he wanted something more. Milena wants to be with him so badly that she's fabricating these ridiculous excuses to justify her jealous behavior. But it's clear that the rumors were right. He really did reject her. And she's refusing to give up on him. If that's true, how much does she really love him? So, do we both love him? Is that what this is? Instead of wanting to scratch my rival's eyes out, I now find myself sympathizing with her. She shoves her phone back into her bag and angrily slaps her palm against the wall again. I don't have the time to continue with this meaningless conversation, so listen carefully, Teru. So she knows my name. I can get rid of you in a heartbeat, so I strongly recommend staying out of my way. I'm not responsible for Suzuki's behavior, I'm just his friend. I shove her away from me and stick out my tongue. Go talk to him, not me. And while you're at it, you might want to find yourself a more worthy man to lust over. Having bared my fangs, I quickly run off to another floor. Why did I do that? I'm going to be the epicenter of all sorts of rumors now. But I refuse to be roughed up by strangers. I need to solve these problems right here and now. Driven by anger, I continue my search for Suzuki. Why am I always having to look for you? Alright, we gotta keep looking now. Oh, I don't even remember oh here, this is where Subaru would be. Oh my god, we gotta go back and forth. Maybe Suzuki is in the student council room. I know, we said that already. Thank God he's here. I had begun to worry that I'd never find him in this unending maze of a university. Suzuki is enthusiastically drawing something on Whatman paper. It's funny, the way Senpai is holding his pencil and ruler gives off the appearance that he really knows what he's doing. Like he actually knows how to draw. Ha! Suzuki. I move closer and place my hand on his shoulder, then I ruffle his hair. I don't know why I just did that, but I did. Oh, Teru, what are you doing here? Aren't you happy to see me? Resentful of his unenthused reaction, I glare at him contemptuously. If he really loves me, he should be happier to see me. Shut up. He holds his pencil. What is that supposed to mean, Gabby? Really? Oh, don't. Never mind. You certainly were while on vacation. Suzuki begins to cough like he's choking on something, and sets his tools aside. I am glad. It's just, I'm a little busy right now, and I understand. We're all busy studying for our exams. But do you think you'll have time for lunch today? Are you inviting me out on a date? If you consider 4 people sharing lunch together on the rooftop a date, then yes, I am. So, will you have time or not? I think I can carve out a little time for it. Excellent. Then I'll see you at lunch, and don't be late. Otherwise, Kaga and I will make that sweet life of yours a living hell. I'm shaking in my boots. Grimacing, Suzuki grabs his pencil and once again buries himself in his work. I wave to him before disappearing through the door. Of course, I fibbed a little. Kaga will be there, but I doubt she'll be happy about it, and I know her wrath scares him even more than my own. Because Kaga is scary. Alright, we just have to find... Oh, thank God. Subaru, there you are. I thought I'd never find you. I looked everywhere. What do you want? Can't you see I'm working? Isn't he being a little rude? We're friends, not strangers. I'm gonna punch him, but I can't blame him for his attitude. It isn't like I've been the perfect girlfriend to him lately. I have been acting rather strangely. No, they really, you gonna go there? Subaru. Wait, I'm not supposed to scream it. Subaru, you have to come up to the roof during lunch. No. That was rather curt. What do you mean, no? Both Kaga and Suzuki will be there, and I will too. Don't you dare refuse. If you don't show up, this will be the last time I'm so nice to you. That was a really weak threat, but I don't have anything else to leverage against him. Well, I guess that's it. It's not lunch yet. Maybe I should take a walk. Oh yeah, she totally does. And actually, when you decide to play this and you play his route, Subaru's route, you get a lot more history and details about Kaga and him. All right, why am I still walking around? Do I have to bump into what is his name? Sergey? Oh yeah. Teru. Once again, I meet Sergey in the hallway. I thought he flew out last week. I've been looking for you. Really? Well, you found me. Do you need something? Not really. Today is my last day here and I wanted... Indeed, I remember him sending me a message about it on Facebook, but I forgot to respond. My thoughts have been preoccupied over my relationship with the guys, it seems. I haven't seen you in forever. I've already forgotten what you look like. Haha. He seems a little nervous. Sergey usually speaks calmly and with more restraint. One might even say his voice is a bit monotone, but he's mumbling anxiously right now. Yeah, it's been a while. I went away on vacation with friends. Did you get a chance to rest during your break? Well, if you call preparing for my trip home rest, then yes, I did. I was busy filling out and applying for my government paperwork. Again? Yeah, well, you know bureaucracy. It's all red tape. I'm surprised my hair hasn't turned gray with how long I had been standing in those lines. I can't argue with that. At one office, I waited 3 full hours for them to come back from lunch. Our countries are so different, but their problems are all the same. He's definitely nervous. I touch his shoulder. Sorry you're going home. That you won't be able to study here anymore. Me too. He looks upset. Maybe I shouldn't. Sergey, I'm so happy that I met you. Although we mostly talked online, it was fun. I never expected to meet someone who shares so many of my own interests. Someone who looks at the world the way I do. Someone who believes in me. We're like kindred spirits. I'd like to keep in touch after you go back. Assuming I don't forget to answer his messages. Although people often drift apart when they're separated by time and distance, slowly they end up writing each other less and less, until eventually they don't communicate at all anymore. Teru, don't forget about me. He smiles. I just came to see you one last time and to say goodbye. I smile. Write me. I'll be sure to. I'm not sad. After all, this isn't the end. It's unfortunate that Sergey is leaving, but I can't afford to be upset about this. I have too many other things to deal with right now. Okay. Whew. So, I need to focus on what to say. Easy peasy. Hey, she says that's your line, Gabby. Shivering, a cold chill spreads across my skin. Too many thoughts are spinning through my head right now. So many different scenarios. The bright ones lead to new stages in our friendship, to mutual understandings. The dark ones to the utter annihilation of my life. Although I suspect that everyone already knows what's already really going on. They just haven't said anything about it yet. Which begs the question, why? Why won't anyone talk to each other about this? If Senpai really loves me, he'll admit it to everyone. I just hope he'll be supportive of me when the time comes. Still, I should never have confessed. Friendship is no place to find love. If only I had thought about it more before making the decision. At least I know that what I'm going to say. Unfortunately, it won't be pleasant for anyone. I stand right outside the door. Breathe. You can do this. And I grab the handle. Well? Does anyone even know why Teru gathered us all here? The way she derisively says that. I don't even know why. Senpai joins Kaga in agreement. Subaru sighs. I have a feeling everyone is going to be surprised today. I usually don't make a habit out of eavesdropping behind closed doors, but I can't bring myself to proudly walk through this one like I had planned. I wonder what they're talking about. Maybe Teru has finally gathered up all of her courage and is ready to talk about her feelings. Well, at least confess to what happened at the beach house. If I stand on my toes, I can see them through the window in the door. So, we went swimming. And? Tell me, how many surprises did you experience out in the deep blue sea? Suzuki chokes. It seems someone saw us after all. Subaru looks grim. Lemon sorbet won't save you from my fist if you touched her. We didn't do anything. Mostly. Oh, Suzuki. Remembering our kiss, I feel my face grow hot, and the heat spreads throughout my body. What is this conversation? By the way, Subaru, since we haven't actually addressed it this entire time, and now that Teru has gathered us all together for some sort of discussion on the fate of our friendship or whatever, yeah, fine. Let's just get this over with. Why the fuck did you accept her? Why the fuck did you accept Teru's confession? I told you. You ruined our entire plan. Well, wasn't that how it was supposed to happen? Both Kaga and Subaru glare angrily at Senpai. Oh, well then, let me repeat Kaga's sentiments. Why the fuck did you accept Teru's confession? Senpai animatedly waves his hands in the air. With every passing word, I'm plunged deeper into an abyss of confusion and doubt. They conspired behind my back? They had it all planned out? Everything ended up completely wrong. Kaga grabs Senpai by the back of his shirt. Why did you run away from your responsibility? Why didn't you try getting close to her? I keep hoping against hope that this conspiracy is all in my head. That I'm just misunderstanding the conversation. Are you guys insane? I try my hardest to not make a sound, and as silence lingers in the air, I hear the blood boiling in my veins. Calm down, Kaga. Everything will be resolved soon. Teru will be here any minute now and will announce who she wishes to date. We'll know everything soon enough. This isn't how I wanted it to happen. I don't have any control over the situation at all. Kaga angrily crosses her arms over her chest and stomps her foot on the ground. I tried giving her the benefit of a doubt. I wanted to believe she'd make the right choice, but I have no idea what Little Miss Sunshine will decide. Drama. There's no way they could have done all of this off the cuff. All of the dates, the hugs, the kisses. And you, Suzuki. Now, given the circumstances, what exactly do you want from her? That's a secret. And you, Subaru? I refuse to let Suzuki win. The boys angrily glare at each other, and I can almost see lightning crackle between them. Kaga bites her lip and clenches her hands into fists. What? Is she covered in honey? Why are we even here if you guys are still playing this game? Subaru and Suzuki both noticeably shake their heads. Subaru, is Teru really the type of woman you're attracted to? Why are you sitting on your hands and refusing to let her go? And you, Suzuki, if you realize that you couldn't let her go, why haven't you told her already? No one answers Kaga's aggressive questions. After that, no one dares to speak. I can't walk in now like nothing's happening. What plan are they talking about? So everyone knew all along and the confession was merely a setup? I refuse to believe that we were never truly friends, and that they were all just toying with me for their own sick pleasure. Memories of our friendship swirl through my head. Was it all fake? All the time that I spent with them? All the dates, the hugs, the kisses? They were all a meaningless attempt to pass time? What a horrible fucking plan. Feeling lied to absolutely sucks. My phone vibrates with a text message. It's from Sergey. Always at the worst moment. I hope they didn't hear that. No. I need more time to think about what I just heard. The next moment, the door opens and Subaru looks out. Teru, will you come in already? He pulls me in and shuts the door. So, how long have you been eavesdropping? Kaga props her hands on her hips and glares at me reproachfully. Actually, I don't know if I can look at them now that I know the truth. Knowing that they've been lying to me this entire time, that all I've been to them is a stupid fool whose heart they've been playing with for their own enjoyment. They all know my feelings, and everything that's happened has been rigged from the very start. Not only was Kaga in on the secret, but they all were. Kaga, I entrusted you with my secret, and you laughed at me behind my back. You all made fun of me, but I believed in you. What are you talking about? I admired you so much, Kaga. I loved you all so much, and this is what you do to me? Why? Absolute despair pierces through me. How could this happen to me? I never wanted this. Sobbing, I flee from the roof, away from my betrayers, and I run as fast as I can. I refuse to believe the things that keep flooding through my mind. I should have stayed and talked. I should have proudly taken it all in. But, as always, when things get difficult, I run. I haven't changed one bit. I've created this illusion that I'm a normal person capable of living in a normal society, but that couldn't be further from the truth. None of them ran after me. I guess that's what happens when the mouse wises up. The cats lose interest. And if the mouse becomes boring, the answer is easy enough. Just throw it away. I found... No, they're not 15. This chick has some major social anxiety issues, clearly. I found an old unlocked storage room a while ago. I used to hang out in it a lot when I first started university. The place seems to be long forgotten. It's dark and dusty, and there's dirty cleaning equipment lying all about. The ideal place for someone like me. I just need a dunce's cap, and I'll look perfect. The events of the last 6 months and even longer repeatedly scroll through my head. My relationship with my friends, was everything from the very beginning a lie? Was I but a splinter in their side? Why did they do this to me? I have so many questions and absolutely no answers. Was Subaru's gentle touch and beet red face also a lie? Did Senpai find my attempts to confess to him funny? Does Kaga really hate me so much that she decided to not only teach me manners, but to tie a stone to my neck and toss me off a bridge? I'm confused and I don't understand anything. The thought that Suzuki loves me brings me so much joy. Wasn't our kiss in the ocean enough for him? Will I end up another photo in Milena's phone gallery? Maybe Suzuki has been dating her for a long while and they're now laughing at me behind my back. It's true, none of them have ever loved me, all of these years. They hate me so much that they're unashamed of ridiculing my feelings behind my back. Sobbing, I lean back against the wall, ready to cry properly now. Anyway, a mop in the corner sways with my movement, falls over and hits me right on the head. Yeah, do it. Finish me. Tears roll down my cheeks. I painfully bite my lip. This entire time, the phone in my pocket has been vibrating. I wonder who it is. Pulling it out, I swipe the screen to find several unanswered calls displayed. Kaga, Suzuki, and Subaru, they each called me, one by one. Is this an attempt to lure the mouse back into their trap? Just leave me alone already. As I'm looking at it, a text comes in from Sergey. Keep fighting. I missed my chance, but you can still do it. Goodbye. Aw, Sergey's sweet! Why did she end up with Sergey? God, how dare he encourage me right now? I raise my hand, ready to throw my phone against the wall, breaking it into a million pieces so it can no longer annoy me with its stupid vibrations. But I hesitate. Sergey. Maybe he's right. I grab my head. What the hell? We've been friends for 3 years. We've been through so much together. And it was all part of their plan. I'm sure Sergey was in on it too. They knew about him. I don't know why he sat off in the corner, but if they were going to tear down all of my friendships, they should have done it completely. Otherwise, what would be the point? I grab my head again and rub my cheeks, pinching them to try and calm myself down, like Subaru used to do. This isn't the time to run away. Stop being so indecisive. I've always put their feelings before mine, but if I don't interest them anymore, then it's time to break this vicious cycle and end it all. Besides, the worst has already happened. I stand up and proudly kick the door. It flies open and loudly hits the wall. Dust blows up my nose and down into my lungs. Come on, let's do this. I need to head back to the roof. I'm sure they're still there. And this time, I refuse to run away from fate. I will accept my destiny, whatever it is. As I climb the stairs, I hear a fuss coming from above. Are you a complete idiot? Well, at least I'm smarter than you. They're fighting. Two male voices scream back and forth at each other, their insults growing more and more impressive. It's the guys. What's going on here? Ah! Subaru punches Suzuki, who responds with the right hook. Now they're taking turns dodging each other's blows. Subaru needs to be careful. Suzuki took boxing and he's no pushover. How are they still going? Their hands should be bloody and broken by now. If you hadn't changed the plan, everything would have worked out just fine. Yeah, and stand by and watch as you continue playing with her feelings like they meant nothing to you? I never thought of her as a toy. All you ever did was shove her around and scoff at her. I didn't want to be a part of any of this. It was all you. You and Kaga. We only wanted what was best for her. Why? Even in my worst imaginings, I never thought that these two would ever be fighting each other. They're both roughly equal in strength, and neither is willing to yield. No, stop this! I try to force myself between both of them, but they easily push me aside. Why am I so upset to see them like this? Shouldn't I be angry at them right now? Shouldn't I enjoy watching them hurt each other? For whatever reason? Alright. Without thinking, I run up to Suzuki and wrap my arms around him. Surprised, Subaru lowers his hand and takes a step back while rubbing his bruised cheek. Giving up now, huh? I've never seen Senpai so furious. Breathing heavily, he slowly calms down. I'm gonna need more booze for this. Then he places his hand on my shoulder. Stop running away. You and me both. A large crowd is gathered around us. They stand quietly by, whispering as if they're waiting for something. For God's sake, what is going on here? Breathless, Kaga squeezes through the crowd. She runs over to us and puts her hands on her knees, trying to catch her breath. Having finally come to their senses, the guys notice their spectators. There's nothing to see here. Excuse me, everyone. I'm sorry, but we're rehearsing a performance. Yeah. They believe you? Does it matter? They're leaving. Maybe this isn't the best place to discuss things. It'll only spawn more gossip. Especially after that scene. Suzuki takes my hand so I don't run away again, and we silently head to the roof. A nice breeze will cool our heads, and the fresh air should invigorate our minds so we can think more rationally. You're gonna be using that forever, aren't you? An awkward silence reigns over our cozy refuge. Although the roof doesn't seem so cozy to me right now. The guys begin cleaning up from their fight. Senpai straightens his shirt and vest, which was heavily wrinkled in the scuffle. A button even came off and is hanging by a thread. Subaru pulls up his collar and rolls down his sleeves. Then he unties his hair to comb it and ties it back up again. What got into you two? We went to look for Teru and decided to talk things out, man to man. And then Teru found us and interrupted our conversation. And like a real woman, she decided which of us was right. Hey, I did nothing of the sort. I don't even know what you two were fighting over. The guys look at Kaga. We're leaving the, Since they're talking to me right now, can I assume this isn't a game to them? Kaga folds her arms over her chest. You know, I think Teru should start. Apparently, the discussion I was prepared to have with you is no longer relevant. Everyone already knows everything, so there's no sense in wasting words. I'll just listen as you explain yourselves. I'm so angry I want to box all of their ears. This morning I'd never have thought I'd be having these feelings towards these three. Well, why? I glance at Senpai and he falls silent. Like Kaga, it seems I can shut people up with a single look. Just one glance. It's true. We planned everything in the beginning. But it wasn't a game. At least for one of us it wasn't. Subaru snorts and pushes Suzuki to the side. In return, Senpai jabs a finger into Subaru's ribs. And so they begin fighting again. I didn't want to be a part of it. If you lied to me, let's just end this now and forget about each other. This isn't the first time I've been betrayed by people I care about. They open their mouths and, embarrassed, they stare at the ground. I don't understand. Why are you so ashamed? That's not it. We have nothing to be ashamed about. We should be proud of ourselves. We were able to make you, Teru, who you are right now. Oh, really? And what am I right now? Better? On the outside, I look just like those girls who only care about getting guys, who only worry about their appearance. Is that what you're proud of, Kaga? You've become a stronger person. I know it. Her words caused me unprecedented irritation and anger. How do these people even know what I hid inside of me when I first came here? Do they even know why I was like that? But I haven't changed. I'm still the same on the inside as I was before. I still run from everything. No, you have changed. You're stronger and more independent. And yet everything else is the same. No, don't tell us that everything we did was all in vain. Besides, it wasn't only us. You changed a lot on your own. I mentally erase everything they've ever done for me, everything they did while I worked on improving myself. But now I want to stick it to them. I don't want to admit that I was being played. I can no longer keep my feelings in check. I need to say what I'm feeling, even if it's painful to hear. What do you know? You came up with some kind of a plan? Well, tell me, what was this plan? Was it to make me human, huh? As if I wasn't already human before? No, you're wrong. We changed you on the outside so that it would eventually change who you were on the inside. No, I changed my appearance to fit you. It takes a lot more than a haircut and a little makeup to change what makes me who I am. You're all so beautiful and popular. Next to you, I look silly. Do you really think that we wouldn't be friends with you right now if you remained the way you were? No, I don't. I should be crying from resentment right now, but I only feel anger. We accepted you as you were, quirks and all. You say that as if I still don't have my quirks. I'm still the same person you first met, save for a few minor alterations. I was picked on and ridiculed. They wouldn't let me near you. Do you even know how it feels to be constantly snared at? And all because of what? Because I dressed like myself while hanging out with the most successful and popular students in school? People who walked around dressed like pop stars? And yet you were the ones who felt uncomfortable? You weren't the ones walking around in stained clothes. You didn't close yourself off from the world. You weren't outcasts. Outcasts? If you had asked us then. The quiet comments that slip in here and there only anger me even more. Don't you dare say that! You would never have supported me like that. You changed me into what you wanted me to be. You changed me according to your own tastes. And you know, I share some blame in this. I succumbed to it. I allowed it to happen. And at times, I even did so with pleasure. But to remain your friend, I was forced to comply. I didn't want to change how I looked, but I had to. You didn't need to do any of that. Ugh, this is so frustrating. I can't say that they never helped me, but I don't want to admit that I've been dancing to their tune all this time. Everything. Yes, everything about me is the same. All that's changed is that I have learned to love myself more. And I've always valued your opinions. Gabby, come on. You're getting into my impassioned delivery here. If I didn't, I wouldn't have dragged on for as long as I have. What am I saying? You know everything. You had me dancing to your tune. You all have been having so much fun playing with me that you forgot about the real Amaterasu. I think my last words must have struck a chord with them. You said everything you did for me was for my own good. Yeah? Well, what do you even know about me? A lot. Let me try to explain. I don't know if I want to hear their explanation. If all of this ugliness is true, whatever he's going to say will likely have my hair standing on end. We should be proud of what you've become. We helped get you here. You even thanked me yourself several times. Have you forgotten? Annoyed, Kaga puts her hands on her hips and shifts her weight to one leg, but Subaru places his hand on her shoulder to temper her fervor. I don't understand them at all. They had a plan, but it wasn't a game, and yet the game didn't include everyone? I don't understand you at all. No, I do understand. I saw how you wanted to help me. But if it was all just a game and I finally realized it, then all you accomplished was confusing me. Let me begin. You see, well, in truth we know that your mother died, and after that a lot of things happened. You moved to a small village where everyone knew each other and everyone pitied you, and every day reminded you of her loss, and at the rate you're going, the semesters will have ended by the time you get to the point. What? Don't interrupt. Your mother passed while you were in high school, and you withdrew after that. You sat in your room for weeks, only eating and sleeping. How? Your father. I haven't talked to my old man in weeks, and yet you've been talking to him? I feel anger boiling inside of me. Couldn't think of a better way to justify yourself, huh? Well, he approached me in the hallway. Clearly, Suzuki looks like a helpful guy. And free of charge. You had been here for a few months when he came to visit. He was lost and didn't know where to go. He was looking for you. And When you stopped going to karate practice and completely shut yourself away, he became very worried about you. He said your only joy was drawing. And he showed us photos of you before the tragedy. Hikes, class pictures, photos of you surrounded by other people. He was surprised that you wanted to attend this university, and didn't want to dissuade you since it was the one thing you had seemed genuinely interested in since your mother passed. And so the blonde led him to you. But your father dared not enter, only watching you through the cracked door. Still, he saw how enthusiastically you were drawing, that you didn't even notice him standing there. He saw how much you liked it here, but was still worried because you stubbornly refused to communicate with others, to live a normal life. That old fool. How could he have done this? I had a normal life. Sorta. Your mother meant a lot to you. It's the same for us. We all love our parents, and those of us who have lost, we cherish their memories in our hearts. You said you had no friends, and told us what you had gone through. Once she was gone, you stopped caring about everything. You became apathetic, shutting yourself away from the world. That old codger. I told him not to stick his nose into my affairs. How could he tell strangers something like that? He asked me and Kaga to look after you. Don't look at me, Teru. I didn't know. At least not until Kaga told me that you loved Suzuki and shared their idea for the confession with me. I instantly blush, and my mouth falls open. So Kaga is the real traitor here. Not that Suzuki is any better. Okay, I think I understand what happened. Subaru is mostly innocent, although that doesn't absolve him of his guilt in this. He knew about everything. Yes, my feelings for Suzuki were real, as they are now. Wait a minute, does Kaga really love Subaru, or is that fake too? Suzuki freezes, afraid to move, like a cat caught stealing sausages. Is he afraid that I'll demand an answer from him now? You have the audacity to claim this wasn't a game that affected my life, and everyone here was in on it except for me? Here's the deal. This is pretty much a crime. No! Yes, it's true. Suzuki and I began talking to you because your father asked us to. But we didn't know that you would be so... what? You. Cheerful, gentle, interesting, caring, a little possessive. We reached out to you, and before we knew it, we couldn't refuse you. We did more than we had ever intended to. Our promise to your father had grown into a sincere desire to help you, from the very depths of our hearts. What about Subaru? He didn't know about this benevolent plan of yours. So you were manipulating him too? Teru, you know Subaru. He's incorrigible. You can say he was the variable in our experiment, and you were the constant. Oh, so now I'm an experiment. I've known Subaru since high school. I was surprised you both connected so quickly. It has always been difficult to communicate with him. He says what he thinks, and rude comments fly right out of his mouth. Hey, I'm standing right here, you know. That man is unapproachable, and yet you found a way to get through to him. You so diligently searched for a way to talk to him, reading books and asking me for advice. I realized you were serious about him. Can we just get to the point already? We're not here to talk about me. Anyway, we conditionally named our plan the Return Teru's Confidence Plan. Really? A plan for transforming Teru into Amaterasu. A plan to help you become a person who could live happily among others. Well, at least mostly. All of our feelings. It is, really. It is. Everything we did. It was all real. Our passion to help you, it was sincere. Teru, we enjoy spending time with you, and we're not giving up on you. It's just that one very stubborn individual threw a monkey wrench into the entire thing. I told you from the very beginning I didn't like this idea. It was stupid. But you took part in it, nonetheless. In your own way. I tried to ruin it, at least without ruining your friendships with Teru in the process. We know. And Subaru did the right thing. So, if Suzuki... God, I'm stumbling here. So if Suzuki had accepted my feelings that day, would they not have been sincere? Was that all part of the plan too? Not quite, but almost. I was surprised. I didn't expect Subaru to take you away from me, and you fell so spectacularly. I blush, but Suzuki really does seem to love me. His kisses felt so genuine. But no. What am I doing? As long as they continue acting as if I'm not right in the head, I will continue fighting this tooth and nail. Did you really think I was so badly broken that you had to enact this insane plan to fix me? We believed so. Well, I can't. Everything they've ever done for me, all of it is moot. Just thinking about it now, it's clear why they persuaded me so eagerly. Dragging me out of my shell every time I became depressed and despondent? Is that why you, Kaga, so actively work to transform my appearance? Well, a little, yeah. Still, this all doesn't add up. Of course, this wasn't our plan at the beginning. We merely kept your interactions with others, or lack thereof, in mind, and helped coordinate social activities for you. I can only imagine what a pleasure it was for them to call me about the things they really... Wait. I only had one drink, you guys, seriously. I don't know why I'm stumbling. I can only imagine what a pleasure it was for them to call me about the things they wanted to do together. Bah! And yet you claim that no one had a vested interest in this. As I told you before, everyone had their own interests. How can I consider you my friends? If you were, you would never have done this. Why? All we ever wanted was to help you. And to continue helping you. The only thing that's changed is that you now know. We swear to you, our feelings are genuine. Grrr. I grab my forehead. I'm burning up with anger, doubt, and my own powerlessness. And we are still waiting for your answer. Which of us do you choose? How can they even think of asking me that right now? I'm completely lost. I have no idea if I can even consider them my friends, and yet they want a declaration of love? Now? You are extremely impatient. We've waited long enough. Kaga stomps her foot. You guys have waited this long. A little longer won't kill you. Otherwise, figure it out yourself. Is she defending me? I don't need her help. I need time to think. I won't run away again, not like before. But I need time to figure this all out, like an adult. At least we know your feelings now. Yes, and I know your true feelings as well. Anyhow, you can continue with their plan, although the game has long been over. Subaru grins. See? Told you. Teru isn't awake. She can stand up for herself. She's not a child, and we're not her mommies. Okay. I'll decide everything for myself, but I need time. When you are making your decision, just remember that we have never considered you a source of entertainment. And we're here for you, always. I've been aimlessly wandering the university's empty corridors for several hours now. The lights have already gone out in half of them, and it's kind of creepy. I breathe in the building's scents, remembering everything that's ever happened to me within these walls. All of my adventures, both interesting and not so interesting. My fights with the guys' fans, my struggles to become prettier, my failures at living, my quarrels, lost arguments, watching movies, sharing evenings together, sleepovers with everyone, brushing my teeth over their sinks in the morning, instant coffee and ham sandwiches during the many sleepless nights we spent working on our projects. Instead of heading to the train station, I decide to spend the night in Subaru's workshop. It's a good thing I have a spare key. There are still a few students working in the classroom next door. I'm sure they're prepping for their exams like everyone else. Ugh, I'm so tired. Pulling a futon from the closet, I lay it out on the floor in the corner, behind a stack of boxes. To my surprise, the sheet is actually clean and smells of fabric softener. Jasmine. How long has it been since the last time I've slept here? How much dust has accumulated since then? I don't know. I don't think I've ever spent the night here alone before. Lying on the mattress, staring at the snow-white ceiling with its lonely light fixture. With the lights off, everything looks so lifeless and gray, just like my future. Crumbs? Oh, it's just crumbs. It's just crumbs. I thought I was gonna have something else. I open my eyes. Ugh. My head hurts like I drank all day and danced all night. Did I really sleep alone here? I can't believe no one came to check on me. Not a security guard, nor any of my so-called friends. I get up, put the futon in the closet, and stretch myself out. I should clean up, comb my hair, fix my makeup. My clothes are slightly wrinkled, but otherwise they look okay. I pour a glass of water from the jug and drink it down. Now I want coffee, but I'd have to go down to the cafeteria for it, and I don't want to. Well then, I'll just imagine that I'm drinking a steaming hot cup of coffee. They say that the power of imagination can work wonders. Slowly sipping my water, I stop and stare thoughtfully through the window. I didn't imagine yesterday, did I? Can I even call them my friends after what they've done to me? What did they actually do? Well, they conspired behind my back, and the entire time I kept thinking that there had to be some kind of catch to everything. But I kept burying my thoughts and suspicions. Kaga and Suzuki had been planning this for a long while now, from the day they met my father. I still don't completely understand the point of it all. To change my appearance and personality to coincide with their vision of me? Something like that. For me to be successful? But why did they decide to help someone they barely knew? I don't know. Maybe they aren't as bad as I thought. Thinking about it now, their feelings. They were always friendly and warm to me. All of the time we spent together, it was dear to us. I have to believe that. The only things they really forced on me were superficial. The cutting of my bangs, forced trips to hairstylists, cramming me into stylish new clothes, and at the same time, throwing out the old. They brought me to parties, introduced me to new people. Several times I was dragged out on group dates with people I didn't even know. They were rich and beautiful, but I could never get used to such casual and frivolous interactions. They made me do things that were uncomfortable for me, like talking to strange people. As a result, I ended up becoming even more attached to them, believing they were the only friends I would ever have. But now, I don't need anyone other than Suzuki. Ugh! But the thing that hurts the most is, the final stage of their plan was my confession. My realization as a woman, the realization that I too can be loved. Raising my self-esteem, returning my confidence. I'm angry. Why did they have to do this? I would have figured everything out for myself sooner or later. Most likely later, but I would have been fine. I haven't had any problems with my self-esteem in a long time. And I haven't shied away from social situations for just about as long, although I still find myself feeling awkward at times. But the most important thing is that I'm aware of my problems and I'm trying to work on them. Besides, who's perfect? Everyone has at least one flaw. Models, actors, musicians, celebrities, all we see is their success. All the bad things about them are hidden away behind the scenes. Famous people have flaws, and I certainly have them too. I shouldn't have set up the confession. If it had never happened, I would never have discovered what they were doing to me. Arg! Kaga persuaded me to finally confess to Suzuki, but even if everything had gone according to plan, I doubt my relationship with him would have lasted very long. He didn't love me and would have only played along until I finally had enough self-esteem to move on, or until they came up with something else. And would Kaga have been with Subaru this entire time? Would they have laughed and been affectionate with each other? I'm sure she would have snagged him sooner or later, and they'd finally be the couple she always dreamt of. This is true betrayal. So Subaru only recently joined in on their scheme? And he didn't like what they were doing, so he decided to change the rules of the game? Then it's either one of two things with him. He really loves me, or he's tired of their deception. If Subaru loves me, I'll have to break his heart. Despite everything that's happened, I still love Senpai. Arg! This is so complicated. They gave me time to think things over and make my decision, and now they're waiting for me. Setting the glass aside, I ruffle my hand through my hair. I had idealized my friends so much that I blindly followed them down every road they prepared for me. But now, Teru, it's time for you to forge your own path and to stop depending on others. I pat my cheeks. I need to gather up all of my courage and do something. Unfortunately, the change inside of me that this entire situation brought forth isn't exactly favorable. Alright, I guess I gotta find him again. Okay, this is the final stretch, Gabby. This is the final stretch. Suzuki is sitting at an empty desk in the student council office, his head propped up on one hand while staring out a window. I have no idea what he's looking at. The view from the first floor isn't exactly majestic. Could it be people? Shrubs? Trees? I move closer and place my hand on his shoulder. I have to do something. I don't want to be the first one to say anything. Suzuki is unsurprised by my presence. It's almost as if he'd been sitting here for ages just waiting for me. He looks at me with a serious yet knowing expression on his face. His clothes are wrinkled. I don't think I'm the only one who didn't go home last night. I regret playing games with you. Oh, so now he admits it, as if that makes me feel any better. I didn't know what to do with myself. When you left, I was desperate to forget her. I've been with a lot of girls since, but none of them have filled the hole in my heart that she left. and none of this news is new to me. He speaks so quickly that I don't even have the chance to ask him about his disheveled appearance. I was bored all the time. I did a lot of things just for fun that I now wish I could forget. I've talked to so many girls without caring enough to remember their names and faces. So many girls I can't even count. I'm sure I must have hurt them. Or maybe they didn't care and were just using me. He squeezes my hand on his shoulder, almost as if trying to prevent me from running away while he confesses his sins to me. I started talking to Kaga because of how beautiful she is. I remember hearing a lot of rumors about her, and I thought I'd check them out for myself. I had expected her to be just as dense as everyone else, but she was actually bright and interesting. I think I almost fell in love with her just from talking to her. Yeah, I think I was fascinated by her in the beginning too. But when the sparkling veil of my first impression had begun to lift, I saw that there was a lot more to her than meets the eye. I know, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying. I met your father. He seemed like a good man. That's why I decided to help you, to become your friend. And you came into my life, you and Subaru. You were always so clumsy and awkward, but your perseverance and sincerity impressed me. Although I won't lie, at first you seemed ill-mannered and rude, but then everything changed. Subaru, he's just a goddamn genius. He's always willing to fight to the very last, to always do the right thing. For as long as I've known him, he's refused to lie to himself or others. But my friendship with you, it's been my salvation. After a while, I realized that when I'm with you, I don't really miss you anymore. You've made my world a brighter place than it's ever been. Neither Milena nor Kaga nor any of the other girls that I've been with have ever given me what you and Ju have. The opportunity to be myself. Teru, I need to apologize. And I want to tell you that I love you. I admit that at first I had fun watching you and Subaru together before a relationship began to form between you. Your bickering and quarrels entertained me, but they also brought out my true feelings for you. Next to you, nothing else mattered. I would forget everything and everyone. Besides, you were the only one I could ask for help and not feel guilty about it. I enjoyed teasing you, making you doubt yourself. Subaru, me. I honestly didn't think anything would come of it. Deep down, I wanted to stop. Just listening to him now, I feel myself choking up. I never expected him to confess. I always imagined that I would be the first one to take that step. But I realized that I couldn't control you. I couldn't force you to cater to my whims. I see how Subaru treats you, and I see how you treat me. I don't want to ruin your image of this world by rejecting you. I'm not sure when it happened, but at some point I began to realize how much I loved you. I lose my mind whenever you're close to Subaru, thinking about the things you're doing with him that you could be doing with me. I won't give you to him. I don't care about the consequences. I can't. Teru, I love you. Shocked by Suzuki's sincere words, I find myself at a loss of my own. I know it wasn't his intention, but I'm once again questioning everything, including myself. I close my eyes to think. You know, Suzuki, I'm happy you finally realized your feelings. But I've been blind to everyone but you these last 3 years. I focused everything I had on you, but in the process I completely ignored others who were also close to me, who supported me. You're talking about Subaru. I nod slightly. He exhales. Well, I'm partially to blame for this. You know, you are my second unrequited love. How many unanswered loves do you think one man can take before it kills him? No, don't die. Don't worry, I won't. But I understand everything perfectly well now. You'll never forgive me for conspiring against you. And for that transgression, I have lost you forever. On the contrary, you understand nothing. I grab his arm. And you're wrong. My heart trembles like a bird fluttering in its cage. He confessed to me. He really did. I want to throw myself onto him, but I can't. Not yet. I love you too. And I realize that I've loved you for a long while now. My hands are shaking. I can barely breathe. Suzuki opens his arms wide, inviting me in. Unable to stand it anymore, I fling myself into his embrace, hugging him as tightly as I can. I don't deserve this. Why not? Teru, you're too good for a wretch like me. So I'm not the only one who's unsure of herself. Why would I think any differently? We're all humans. We all share the same inherent nature. Of course, Suzuki would question himself, especially after everything that's happened. As if I can't say the same of you. No, not at all. I love you, Teru. I love you too, Suzuki. He squeezes me even tighter, then looks up at me. He looks so vulnerable right now. It makes my heart ache. Unable to hold myself back any longer, I press my lips against his. And we are embraced by a wild passion. If not for the lack of oxygen in our lungs, I'm certain we would have never let go. Would you like to continue? Yes. Shocked at my reaction, Suzuki sneers at me in disbelief. You know we can't do that here. I know. But before we finally commit to each other, I need to talk to Subaru. I need to end our relationship. But in a good way. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't turn me away. I thought you chose him a long time ago. No. I draw near to his lips again. At first I had feared that my feelings for you were only admiration, but now that I've spent more time with you, now that I've seen the real you, I know that they're real. Yes, it drives me crazy knowing you took pleasure in watching me and Subaru together, but I can't deny my heart, and the heart wants what it wants. I can't deny you, not anymore. It really is that simple, isn't it? Not quite. You had to push me to it first. I run my fingers over his chest. Amused at my newfound boldness, he smiles. Well now, it seems our innocent little Teru has begun to play her own game. Yep. I flash him a seductive smirk and bid him goodbye before slipping out into the hallway. We've agreed to meet again later. Okay, technically they're all kids, okay? Even though they're like in college and like 20 years old, like they're all kids. Alright. Kaga is happily tapping away at her phone, probably catching up on the news. I crouch down next to her. I'm sorry, I'm subjecting you to this game, Gabby. I'm sorry. The next game will have violence in it, I swear to you. It's probably going to have lots of blood and gore. I don't know. We'll find something. Oh, hey, Teru. There's not a hint of remorse on her face. Kaga, don't you have something to say to me? Are you expecting an apology? I don't know. I was hoping for something. Well, I haven't done anything wrong. So there's nothing to apologize for. I can tell by her eyes that she's sincerely puzzled. I did all of it to help you be more confident with your appearance and in yourself. Are you sure you didn't do it just so you could have Subaru all to yourself? Well, you certainly made me more appealing to Suzuki. The new clothes, the new haircut, the makeup, the cute dresses. You did everything to turn his attention towards me. You say that as if it was a bad thing. No, it wasn't, and I am appreciative of all that you've done for me, although I know you had a vested interest in it. You were always so jealous of Subaru and me. That's why I pushed him away. I couldn't even look at him without worrying that I was hurting you. Kaga opens her mouth. I'm surprised you finally figured it out, but yes, that's exactly what I had intended. And there I was, too busy dealing with my own feelings to see the full picture. But now I see everything clearly. Bravo! Kaga begins to slowly clap her hands. I don't hate you for seeing through me, you know. Although I'm curious, what do you think of me now that you know the whole truth? I don't hate her, and I can't say Kaga's actions were entirely misguided. She has always been there for me in difficult situations, and has never failed to encourage me. Truthfully, if I was in her position, I can't say I wouldn't have done the same. Thank you, Kagari. I've already talked to Suzuki, and he finally opened up to me. Kaga sits down close to me and begins rubbing my back. And? All of your efforts weren't in vain. I know I was upset about everything at first, but it needed to happen, and I have you to thank for it. It would be short-sighted of me to deny that Kaga's actions had helped me get closer to Suzuki. I'm incredibly happy that my feelings have finally reached him, and to discover that he loves me in return. And before Suzuki and I can be together, I need to tell Subaru. I need to talk to him about us. Kaga exhales. If you want, I can help. No, I need to do it myself. Anyhow, no more fiddling with my life, okay? Besides, I don't need help anymore. I'm fine. Thank you for offering, but I can do this by myself. Now that I have the courage to. I can't say that I've completely forgiven her, but I think this wound will heal in time. Well, I'm off. Good luck. Why are you dead? Are you dying from this? Seriously? You are not dying from this. Alright. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there's a lot of... This is all just character interaction. Clearly he needs a lot more death and dismemberment in his games. I get it. It seems Kaga beat me to it. Kaga and Subaru are talking on the stairs. I don't know how the hell she beat me up here, but whatever. Without thinking, I quickly hide around the corner. Why am I hiding? Ah, screw it. Subaru, I love you. Staring Subaru straight in the eyes, Kaga loudly and confidently confesses to him. Kaga grabs his wrist and repeats herself. I love you. Pulling his hand away, Subaru stares at her in disbelief. There's no embarrassment on his face, only bewilderment and regret. Kaga, I'm sorry, but... Kaga, I can't answer your feelings. Why? Why do you insist on loving her? Subaru seems taken aback by her question and hesitates. You know, don't you? You know she doesn't love you. Then why hold out hope that things will ever change? You even jeopardized our entire plan for your own selfish aims. You forced her to be with you, manipulated her feelings, played her against her own sense of honor and duty. You know how much she values us, how afraid she is of hurting us. I spent so much time working with Teru, helping her to become someone who wouldn't end up all alone in this world. And I did it all without you. Having finally lost her temper, Kaga is practically screaming at Subaru. Her voice carries loudly down the hallway. Even if I wasn't listening to them from around the corner, I still have been able to hear their conversation clearly. Kaga, you do know that even without your plan, Teru would have grown beyond all of her problems, right? Yes, but then you would have been with her, not me. I still hope she chooses me. But even if she doesn't, if she decides to be with Suzuki, I'd prefer to be alone. Damn. But what about me? I love you so damn much. I can tell that Kaga is struggling to keep her emotions in check, but it's obvious she's on the verge of breaking into hysterics. She grabs Subaru's wrist and presses his hand to her chest. Do you feel that? Do you feel how my heart beats for you? He nods faintly. I won't give up. Ever. No matter how many times you reject me, I'll try again and again. I already spoke to Teru, and she... Well, that's my cue. Better get out there before Kaga drags me into this. Subaru! I jump out from behind the corner and head towards him. Embarrassed, he turns away. He was just talking about me. In fact, he just confessed his feelings. Oh. No. It fucking froze! Shit. Alright, guys. Shit. Fuck. Hold on. I have to finish this. We're so close to the end. I have to finish this. Well, you get a lot more detail about Subaru in his route, as well as oh god, I gotta skip all this. As well as, shit, come on, skip. Why is this not skipping? Okay. So, your PC went to sleep. What was I gonna say? There's actually more to Kaga and Subaru's relationship, too, that we don't get in Suzuki's route. You probably would. He's not bad. I'm just saying, I read a lot of Otome games, and I like the characters who aren't your stereotypical, like, love interests, because they're different. Alright. Oh god, I'd be back and forth so I can see Sergey. There we go. Alright. Come on, skip. Clearly they did some edits, because doing this since the last time I played this, because the skipping is stopping on edited lines. I do too. I don't know if I would technically consider Subaru a bro though. I think Gabby's officially dead. He's gone. Oh man, I gotta do this shit again. Why did I have to... Well, I think I know why I like Suzuki so much, is because he actually has character development. And I have to say this, I prefer characters in games who actually change in some way. Okay, so he was a jerk, he fucked around with her and everything, but at the end he realized that he was wrong for it. And so I like that aspect of his character. I don't really think Subaru changes that much in the game. Alright, so... blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't want to skip all through this. Alright, embarrassed, he turns away. Okay, so help me, Teru, if you've changed your mind. Kaga points a finger at me and snares. She's scared. She knows that it would only take a single beckon of my finger for Subaru to come running to me. He always comes to me. And now I see everything clearly. I know exactly what both of them did and why. They knew that I would put their feelings before my own. Kaga believed I wouldn't be able to take Subaru from her if I was busy with Suzuki. Suzuki thought I loved him unconditionally and would have pursued him until the end of time, even if Subaru forcibly held me within his clutches. And Subaru, he loved me, and all he ever wanted was to prevent me from getting hurt. This is all so simple. Everything is so much less complicated than I had thought. The box opens up and the truth flies out. They were all afraid. They were afraid of losing each other. I laugh. Yeah, this is way too much relationship drama for him. This is not generally what guys want when they read these games. I've noticed that. He's just like, just fuck. It's like, but when I'm reading a visual novel like that, I don't want them to just fuck. I'm just saying. But that's, I guess, the difference between a man and a woman. My two friends look over at me. They're shocked and have absolutely no idea what to do. I'll never forget the look of confusion on their faces right now. Calming myself down, I look Subaru straight in the eye. Subaru, I'm sorry, but I can't be with you. He snorts. Yeah, I know. It's Suzuki, isn't it? Yeah. I've seen the way you look at him, but I always thought you were too confused in your feelings to know what you wanted. Was I wrong? You were right, for a time. I think you were my first love. Subaru takes a step towards me, but Kaga grabs his arm and holds him there, preventing him from coming any closer. I didn't realize it at the time, and feelings change. Forgive me. I'm so sorry. I care for you deeply, but only as a friend, and I... Stop. You don't have to say it. I know. I knew you would never be mine the moment you started talking. I would like for us to remain friends. Perhaps things can go back to how they were before all of this. You know that's impossible, right? I had hoped that it might not be. Without you in my life, things would be so much less... Okay, I get it. He waves me off and turns away. Do what you want. Kaga embraces Subaru from behind. Do you want to comfort me? Do you want me to comfort you? No. We can watch your favorite movie. No. I'll buy you a box of lemon sorbet. No. She hands him a slip of paper. I can have sex with you. Really? Kaga, really? Kaga? Enough. I just want to be alone. I know, she is very desperate. Subaru leaves, and we are now standing alone in the hallway, an awkward silence reigning over us. Well, you got what you wanted. I'll never be with Subaru. He's all yours now. I'm sorry. I just wanted to be with him. Well, now you can. I can do nothing to help him feel better about any of this. I hurt him, and that's all there is to it. Anyway, I should head downstairs and let Suzuki know that I've ended things with Subaru. Oh. Surrounded by chattering beauties, Suzuki stands in front of the student council president in the middle of the hallway. He no longer looks as annoyed as he used to. They all notice me, but carry on as if I'm not there. Although I can clearly hear what they're saying. Suzuki, why didn't you write to me? Oh, Milena, did I need to? I'm sorry, but I forgot. What do you mean you forgot? Irritated, the council president taps her foot while propping her hands up on her hips. What about our agreement? Our deal? I'm sorry, but I'm canceling it. Milena's face goes white with shock. I realize that I can no longer waste my time on you. What are you talking about? I thought our feelings were mutual. I helped you when no one else could. Yes, and I thank you for that, but now that I have a girlfriend, I don't have time for you. Especially when it comes to appeasing your little whims. He's being extremely rude right now, which has thrown Milena completely off balance. I think I've only ever seen him act like this that one night, at the beach. Winking at me, Suzuki abruptly changes his tone. Oh, if you'll excuse me, my beloved is here. He pushes through the girls and beelines toward me, paying no heed to the ladies gossiping around him. Amaterasu-chi. Taking my hand, he leads me away from the gaggle of women, and Milena's seething hatred burns into me as we leave. Pouting, I bite my lip. What agreement was she talking about? What did she mean by entertainment? Did you make plans with all of those women too? He cocks his head to the side. It doesn't matter anymore. I slam my fist against his shoulder and glare at him. Hey, we agreed. No more secrets. Yes, and there won't be. Anyway, from now on, the only woman I shall entertain is you. I snort. If you couldn't tell, I'm officially jealous. Just like any other girl. Don't you dare compare me to those wenches. Of course not. You're better than them. Now that Suzuki has been speaking more honestly with me, he no longer shrouds his arrogance and assertiveness behind a gentlemanly facade. I can see right through him. He licks his lips, then kisses me deeply right in front of everyone. How bold. And yet, I can't help but let him do whatever he wants with me. Besides, I have pledged myself to you. No, I'm being serious here. All the times I watched him cavorting with other women, he has no idea how much it hurt. Then to find out that he had been manipulating me and toying with me this entire time, I don't know how I survived it. I'm sorry. You're right. But now that I have you, I don't need anyone else. And I will never hurt you again, I promise. He runs his hand through my hair while rubbing my back soothingly. I frown. I'm serious. If I ever find out that you're scheming behind my back again, I'll kill you. Then I seal my threat with a kiss. Wow, that was quite the statement. I'll leave you and never come back. You won't get a second chance with me. Is that all? Surely your list of threats cannot be that long. I feel more confident than I've ever been, now that I can finally speak freely to the man I've cherished for this long. Silently, we walk out onto the rooftop and close the door behind us. A cool breeze ruffles our hair. It gets colder and colder every day. By the time the sun sets, it's chilly enough to need a jacket. Basking in the last few minutes of the sun's warmth, we sit wordlessly on the bench together. But then Suzuki breaks the silence. We're almost done, you guys. Seriously. We're at the very end, and then there's a short little epilogue, and then we're done. And Gabby will probably like the epilogue, because it's a little steamy. Amaterasu, I care about you too much to continue doing that to you. So he's still thinking about what I said. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still upset at him. Okay, fine. He's gonna miss some boobs. Just saying. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm still upset at him for having played with my feelings that entire time. I feel horrible about it. I'm surprised it didn't pop up when I said that. I feel horrible about it, and I regret not having realized my feelings for you sooner. Is there anything I can do to help you forgive me? Perhaps. He hugs me as tightly as he can. The door rattles but doesn't open. Hey, what the hell? Open up, we know you're in there. Subaru tries to open the door but is firmly locked. Shh. Suzuki puts a finger to his lips, then slowly walks over to the door and abruptly throws it open. I know, I was too. Stumbling inside, Subaru nearly falls flat on his face. Oh, you're with... Suzuki stands there looking like a devil in angel's clothing. Every day he shows us more and more of his true self. Although I admit, I sometimes find myself missing his gentlemanly act. Sometimes. Kaga proudly walks in behind Subaru, paying no attention to the squabble that started. I have 2 bits of news for you. Good or bad? Consider it 2 pills. One red, one blue. Both leading to favorable outcomes. The girl winks and flashes us a thumbs up. I managed to obtain the right to exhibit Subaru's artwork. The guys stop poking at each other. Wow. It's going to be a solo exhibition in the next city over, in their main art gallery. That's awesome. Of course, everyone knows what gallery she's talking about. Impressed, we all clap excitedly. Except for Subaru, who remains deadpan. It's unsurprising that Subaru is Kaga's first client, but it's still very cool. Nobody expected her to be in such a great position so soon. Although I can't take all of the credit. If Subaru's work wasn't so chic, no art gallery would agree to showcase it. That's true. And now the second bit of news. She grabs Subaru by the arm and presses herself up against him, making him blush slightly. We're dating! I was finally able to wear down this lunk's defenses. Suzuki pats Kaga on the back, then grabs me into his arms, as if proving that I belong to him. I'm not 100% sure, but I could have sworn he just stuck his tongue out at Subaru. This is great news. Although I don't know what to say, I'm so happy for Kaga. She's been in love with Subaru for so long, and to now finally have his feelings returned? But I'm worried about the genius. Has he finally gotten over my rejection? My heart aches every time I think about how painful it must have been for him to have the love of his life turn him away. It's okay, Teru. Subaru must have noticed the concerned look on my face, which is odd, since he rarely pays that much attention to me anymore, not since that day. We do talk quite a bit, though, and he's still friendly, just not as amiable and forthcoming as he used to be. He doesn't rush to my aid anymore, nor does he tease me with embarrassingly ambiguous comments. No asking strange questions, no more bullying. One could say that our relationship has now become normal. I regret that we aren't as close as we used to be, but at the same time, I now have Suzuki. Is it strange to mourn over something that could have been when you already have some strong feelings for someone else? Kaga is sincerely overjoyed, but Subaru seems indifferent. But he wouldn't be dating her if he didn't have feelings for her, would he? Thinking about it now, it's clear how good of a man he is. Teru, is your head in the clouds again? Subaru's question jars me from my thoughts. Noticing his attention on me, Kaga grabs Subaru by the collar of his jacket and smacks him on the cheek. And he instantly turns red. See? My efforts haven't been in vain. Clearly. Suzuki and I both shake our heads together. Clap, clap, clap. Time marches on, feelings change, and everyone moves forward, one way or another. I'm truly happy for them. Just as I am happy that I can finally build a life with Suzuki, knowing that no one will be able to come between us and our happiness ever again. The end. So punish me. Alright. This is the epilogue. It is pretty quick. And then we're done. And I swear I will not subject Gabby to Otome games in a long, long time. It's been 3 years since we graduated university. Suzuki and I now live together in his parents' country house. His mom and I get along splendidly, and she insisted that we move in here. Since then, he's proven again and again how much he loves me, and the sincerity of Suzuki's feelings for me never ceases to amaze me. As for Kaga and Subaru, they both moved to Singapore. Although we only see them once a year while on vacation, we speak to them often. Kaga says that Subaru's paintings are selling great. He's even getting interviews. We hardly hear anything about him here, but apparently he's gained quite a following over in Europe. I lounge on the couch reading yet another psychology book on relationships. I recently became fascinated by the subject. I have never been fond of reading, but here I am ravenously devouring every page as if I was starving for information. I never would have thought this area of study could be so interesting. You should consider going back to school for it. Suzuki plops down next to me on the couch and slides an arm around my shoulders. You really think so? I'm not sure I'd want to go back to our old university again. I wouldn't want that either. He tosses a few university pamphlets onto my lap, then points at one of them. Thank you. You always know exactly what I need. Suzuki is simultaneously studying at a nearby military academy and working with his father. He was only allowed to continue studying art under one condition, that he follow in his father's footsteps when it came to his career. Suzuki kept his promise. I sometimes wonder where I'd be if we had never met, if I wasn't living with Suzuki now. No, I don't even want to think about it. I love you. I love you too. I move closer and gently brush my lips against his cheek. You're not ashamed of me at all, are you? There's all this talk of licking in chat, and Gabby's nowhere to be found. I think I officially broke him with this, and I thought that other one was bad. Suzuki's devilish grin makes me blush, and I frown. What are you hinting at? I don't need to hint. He dumps me onto the couch and embraces me from above, sprinkling... Oh, God. And I gotta read this out with my husband sitting here. This is embarrassing. Sprinkling kisses down my body. Teru, did you know? You're the best thing that's ever happened to me. Recently, he's been saying such sweet things more and more often. He whispers the words into my ear as he boldly touches me elsewhere. He's such a naughty boy. Like he is now, biting my ear to distract my attention, then sliding his hand up under my shirt to unfasten my bra. But it's morning. Besides, didn't it look just a few hours ago? Suzuki runs his lips over my neck, which makes my body ache with anticipation. No, he don't care. It's not my fault that I love you so much that I can't keep my hands off of you. My cheeks burn with desire, and I pull Suzuki to me. But to be honest, this is actually not as racy as Subaru's ending. Subaru's ending is racier, but it also is cheesier, and I'm not a big fan of it. No, it's my fault. Seductively, I bite his lip. So punish me. And I think that's officially the end. And we're done. But watch, look. That's me! See? Chudah! I'm in the credits! I actually got a little chibi made for me. They made a chibi of me. There's no music in the credits, though. And that's it. We're done.